Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
It's September 30, 2024, Monday. Magandang gabi, ito si Ruchel Viola at ito ang PA 303 News Channel. Magandang gabi sa lahat. Sa balitang ito, ating tatalakayin ang dalawang mahalagang uri ng buwis na nakakaapekto sa negosyo ng ating bansa. Ito ang corporate income tax at business tax. Magsimula tayo sa pag-unawa sa corporate income tax. Ano nga ba ang corporation? Yan ang ating alamin sa pag-uulat ni Professor Ruth. Professor, pasok!
So, good evening everyone. So, what is corporation? Corporation is an artificial being created by law having the rights of succession and the power, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incident to its existence. So, meaning ang corporation daw is like a person that is created by the government. So, it can own things, make deals, and last for a long time, even if the people who started it live or die. So, ang korporasyon ay parang tao lamang na nilikha ng gobyerno. So, it includes not only corporation but also partnership, joint stock companies, joint account, association, or insurance companies. But does not include general professional partnership. So, general professional partnership, kato ni siya mga lawyers, doctors, etc. Kaya nga namang dili siya included, no? Kay tungod, partnership are formed to provide professional services and not intended for ongoing business. Another one is joint venture or consortium. So these are formed for only a specific project and are not intended for a long-term business entities. So for example of this is construction project, no? Kato ni silang companies nga join force to undertake a construction project like highways. Another example is a film production, no? Katong mga produce og movies. So that is corporation. That would be all. Thank you for having me.
Maraming salamat, Professor Ruth. Ngayon naman, isang dayuhan na negosyante nagreklamo dahil sa sistema ng buwis sa Pilipinas. Ating tutukan sa kabisnes na si Geraldine Cinto. Pasok!
What's the meaning of this? I'm so frustrated. My company should be taxed on the income that derived from the Philippines, and not in my entire company's income.
Nandito po tayo ngayon at live kung saan may isang dayuhan na nagre-reklamo dahil pareho kinuhanan ng buwis ang kanyang income sa loob at labas ng Pilipinas. Sa ngayon, ating makapanayam kung ano kayang masasabi ng Office of the BIR sa nasabing problema.
As far as my concern about the citizens who are complaining about the payment of taxes, so that cases are need to have explain nganong ang iyang income is kuan og taxes within the Philippines and out of the Philippines. So now let's talk about the two classifications of corporations, which is the domestic corporations and the foreign corporations. So when we say domestic corporations, it is a corporation that is created or organized under the Philippine laws, or it is refers to the company or businesses that is incorporated and registered under the laws of a particular country, primarily operating in the country's borders. So in that cases, ang usa ka business, o asa na-locate ang inyong business, so of course dito ka mag-file of taxes with jurisdiction nila. So based sa atong nakita ang situations or scenario, nagpakita siya nga bisan og ang iyang income within and also without the Philippines, kuan siya taxes. So that's the domestic corporations. Now let's proceed to the foreign corporations. So when we see foreign corporations, it is a corporation that is under the foreign laws. So it is classified as two, which is the resident foreign corporations and also the non-resident foreign corporations. So when we say resident foreign corporations, it is a corporation or it engaged in trade or business within the Philippines, or there was an office or branch that aimed to have a business here. While on the other hand, non-resident foreign, it is a corporation that is not engaged in trade or business. So more opposite niya siya sa resident foreign corporations.
Good evening mga ka-business! Ako nga pala si Hanelin Ape, ang iyong tagapagbigay ng trivia. So our trivia for tonight is all about passive income subject to final tax and minimum corporate income tax. So when we say passive income subject to final tax, the following income within of a domestic and a residence foreign corporation shall be subject to 20% final tax. So first, interest on Philippine currency bank deposit. 2. Yield of any other monetary benefits from deposit substitute. 3. Yield from trust funds and similar arrangement. 4. Is royalties. So when we say passive income is mo na siya ang imong income nga biskan wala kay ginabuhat is ano ra ang income sa imo ga-derive ra ang income sa imo even though you're not doing anything. So if ga-income ka, so it means that you are taxable kaya na maka-income. So ang example ini is sa kanang bank deposit. Di ba if mo-deposit ka sa bangko kay so kanang imong gi-deposit is magtubo man siya magtubo. So means if magtubo na siya so create siya og income para sa imo. So kana siya nga income is subject na siya to final tax. So that's income is taxable. And then kung siya na po siya exemption ana if malapaw na siya og 5 years ang imong gi-deposit nga kwarta diya sa bangko, so exemption na ka from the final tax. And then and the second example is kanang sa royalties. For example is kanang si Sarah Geronimo or kanang mga singer nga magkanta abi sila, so kanilang kanta is even though wala na sila ginabuhat, kanilang kanta is gasige na siya create og income. So magka-income na sila ana sa ilang kanta nga gihimo. So kay maka-income naman sila, so it means na dapat taxable na ilang nga income from kanang example is kanang mga books or mga kanang literatures mana. So mana na siya og tax nga biskan wala sila ginahimo, mana siya ginahimo tawag siya passive is because wala siya ginahimo pero na siya income nga ginadawat daga tuig, daga bulan or depende sa situation. So let's proceed to minimum corporate income tax. Imposition of the tax. The tax applies only to domestic and resident foreign corporation. The tax rate to be imposed is 2% of gross income. And then the computation and the payment shall apply at the time of filing the quarterly corporation income tax. The effectivity shall commence on the fourth taxable year immediately following the year in which corporation imposition of the tax. So fifth is this tax shall be imposed whether the corporation has zero or negative taxable income or whether the MCIT is greater than the normal income tax due from such corporation. And the last one is the term gross income for purposes of computing MCIT includes other items of gross income realized or earned by the taxpayer during the taxable period which are subject to normal corporate income tax. So it means that kani siya ang minimum income tax is mo siya ginakuan siya is 2% siya sa gross income. So gina-imposean siya og 2% ka gross income lang. And then kani siya computation niya ini is abe kay for the first 3 years siya sa kana siya company, if kana siya lugi siya company, for the first 3 years is exemption na siya exemption. So wa siya labot sa tax for the first 3 years. Pero ika 4th year na niya is dapat na siya tax maka-income na siya or na siya profit or wala. So dapat butangan na siya og tax because So na niya for the first 3 years nga di wa siya buhaton sa iya nga company nga mo lambo. So dapat for the ikaupat na siya, so dapat na siya taxed. So yun naman po mga katrivia. Sana may napulot kayo ng magandang aral. Stay tuned. God bless. Bye-bye.
Maraming salamat, Hanelin. So, what are the rules for carrying forward excess MCIT in the Philippines? Yan ang ating alamin sa pag-uulat ni Ira Bacato. Pasok!
So the carry forward of exit or minimum corporate income tax, it allows businesses to use any extra minimum corporate income tax behind their normal income tax. So to reduce their taxes in the next 3 years. So nakakatulong ito sa mga kumpanya sa magitan ng pagbababa ng kanilang mga susunod na buwis kapag nakapagbayad sila ng mas mataas na buwis kaysa sa kinakailangan sa isang taon. Next is the relief from minimum corporate income tax. So the relief from minimum corporate income tax, it gives businesses a break from paying the minimum corporate income tax if they face kanang mga challenges like for example, prolonged labor disputes, force majeure, legitimate businesses reverse. So mahalagang protektahan ito ang mga kumpanya mula sa may mataas na buwis sa panahon ng mga pagsubok upang matulungan silang kapagbangon at makapag-recover. So para nanapod sila ikakuan sa ilang next nga businesses para mag-growth na po ang ilahang business.
Maraming salamat, Ira. Ngayon naman, samahan niyo kami sa isang talakayan tungkol sa isang special corporation. Kasama si General Dean Cinto, siyang magbibigay ng kanilang mga kaalaman. Mga kabisnes, pasok!
Hi, I am really excited to be here to talk about taxation, and it is a great chance to share, to apply my understanding about what I have learned. So, the Philippines operates several types of special corporations. But first, let us talk about the domestic corporation. In domestic corporation, we have the proprietary educational institutions or the private hospitals. So in the proprietary educational institutions, these are owned by private entities. So they aren't for profit. But the government allows the schools and the private hospitals to pay the tax rate as low as 10% as long as they use this income as a educational purposes or healthcare purposes. If they don't follow this rule, of course, they will pay the regular corporate tax. Now let's move on to the GOCCs, or the government-owned and controlled corporation. So the GOCCs are created by the government to do commercial activities, but they still have to pay taxes, especially kanang pareha po just like the private businesses. So the standard tax rate is 25%, but some GOCCs are exempt, especially pareha nang sa SSS and GSIS kay of course they provide public services. And now for the non-resident foreign corporation, we have the international carrier. So international carrier, mo na siya ng foreign airlines or shipping companies that operate here in the Philippines. So the international carrier are taxed at 2.5% on their gross Philippines billings. So that includes any income from transporting passengers, from cargo, or mall within the million. So, international carriers are taxed at 2.5% on the gross Philippines billings. So, that includes any income from transporting passengers, from cargo, or mail within the Philippines. It's a bit different from other corporations because the tax is based on the gross earnings instead of their profit. Moro na ilang kalahian. And now, let's move on to the offshore banking units, or the OBUs. OBUs are banks that cater mostly
to foreign clients. So they pay a lower tax of 10% in income from the foreign currency transactions. So this special rate is meant to attract foreign investors and help the Philippines become a regional banking hub.
For the non-resident foreign corporations, we have first the non-resident cinematographic film owner, lessor, or distributor. So these companies are based outside the Philippines, but they earn money by leasing or distributing their films here. They are taxed at 25% on their gross income from sources within the country. So even if the film company doesn't have an office in the Philippines, if their films are shown here, they're more taxed on the income earned.
Next is the non-resident owner of lessor or vessels chartered by Philippines nationals. So, when a Philippine national charters a vessel from a foreign company, the foreign company is taxed on the income they earn from that transaction. Like the film owners, they pay 25% tax on the gross rentals of charter fees. This applies even though this foreign company isn't based in the Philippines.
Lastly, the non-resident owner or lessor of aircraft, machineries, and other equipment. So this is very similar to vessels. If a foreign company leases our aircraft, machinery, or other equipment to a Philippine company, they're taxed at 25% on the income they earned. This applies to things like airplanes, construction equipment, and other big ticket items.
So, thank you for having me. It was a great experience to discuss these tax concepts outside the classroom.
Maraming salamat, Geraldine, at atin namang tatalakayin mamaya ang business tax sa pagbabalik ng BA303 News Channel. After a short break, stay tuned!
Ala, kadapuan sa kong tax, sila gamay o pakay kong halin, nanumanin. Maximize your profit, minimize your tax. Help businesses like yours. Navigate the complexities of corporate income tax. So we have smart tax planning, tax compliance support, and financial peace of mind. So call us now for free consultation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chika Mini! Tonight, we take a quick look at business taxes and how they impact entrepreneurs and companies alike.
Mga miga kabalong mo anang kuan doon nga chika-chika nato ba nga naay nga gitapik nila dito sa internet gani nga tax on value added. Sama siya. Muna siya ang katong VAT is a taxation on the increase in value of product or services at each stage of productions or distributions until the final sales of consumers. Muna siya ang duha ka pamaagi na ay pamaagi sa pagbawas o pamaagi sa mga resibo.
Inana gaya siya.
Unsay sunod ana? Na ay transparent sales tax. Mauna siya ang clear and visible to the buyer, often added separately at the point of sale. Niya kina siya ikaupat nga pamaagi sa iyang nga value added tax. Una ang dako nga buhis nga gakonsumo sa atong nasod.
Importante jud di ay ang mga makabalot sa value added tax.
Para nga masabta na to ug unsa ni kahulugan ana.
Ikaw may nabalaan po ka dira, may i-share po ka. Sutido, may kung unsa na anuan.
Basta na kay idea.
Oo, mga miga na apo ko'y nadunggan kabahin lagi aning indirect tax. Ang sa indirect tax giingon diri nga that one person pays initially but is meant to be passed on others, usually the final consumer. So gibutyag diri nga kanang sa indirect tax naa din ni siya giingon naa din ni siya kahulugan nga giingon nga kani nga tax na shifting process. So it means through the code sa iyang giingon nga value added tax to each product, mahimo nga ma-bear sa customers ang cost sa tax. It's because kay mamalit man sila sa product. So og usa po ni ana ang dili man tuod ang mga consumer mo direct pay sa tax dito sa government, kundi ang mga tag-iya sa mga products sila may authority nga mohatag dito sa government sa kanang tax na yun yung pero di ka na sa mga tao ang tax kani palit mo siya sa product.
Mao na siyang indirect tax.
Sa privilege tax nga akong nahibalan an sa added value tax. So ang privilege tax di ay kuan ni siya nag-refers ni siya sa owners sa usa ka business or sa kanang sa mga cars inana kung naa sila inana. So naa sila obligation nga mo pay sa tax based on their sa ilang mga permit, so need sila nga mobayad ana to fulfill his obligation or her obligation. So also pod sa ad valorem tax gi-highlight diri nga since the amount of tax depends on the sale price or the value of good or services. So gi-highlight diri nga ang sa ad valorem tax ang pagkaltas sa usa ka butang is nagdepende sa matag value or sa matag value sa butang, dili pareho tanan og kantidad ang pagkaltas sa tax kay nagdepende ni siya sa usa ka butang.
Yes, exactly.
Fulfill his obligation or her obligation. So also pod sa ad valorem tax gi-highlight diri nga
Go.
since the amount of tax depends on the sale price or the value of good or services. So gi-highlight diri nga ang sa ad valorem tax ang pagkaltas sa usa ka butang is nagdepende sa matag value or sa matag value sa butang, dili pareho tanan og kantidad ang pagkaltas sa tax kay nagdepende ni siya sa usa ka butang.
Yes, exactly. Guys, kinsa nakabaloan ng VAT registration?
Kailan na ako'y na-research na diri. Ari unsa? Kanang VAT is or kanang value added tax registration means a business is registered with the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR to collect and pay value-added tax. Then, ang mga negosyo nga adunay value-added tax or VAT registration, kinahanglan nga modugang og 12% VAT sa ilang mga produkto or serbisyo. So, ang mga consumer sa laing bahin, mahimong makakuha og credit alang sa VAT nga ilang gibayad sa ilang sa mga produkto or serbisyo sa ilang gipamalit.
So, with regards sa non-VAT registration, unsalan man na siya?
So, the non-value added tax registration, it means that a business is not registered with the BIR or the Bureau of Internal Revenue to collect and pay VAT. Business with non-VAT registration cannot add VAT to their products or services. Ano na siya? Para ka-simple.
About sa mga kailang, so may ka-share ka bahin sa pagkakaroon sa mua?
Naapod ko i-share sa inyo mga friend, the value added tax, no? The VAT is a transactional right, no? So, what if mopalit tas ang clothes, no? Ang clothes expected nga naa na ni VAT. And then, ang kanang supplier kanang sa clothes, ang tag-iya ana, nagbayad na pud na sang VAT sa pabrika. And of course, ang pabrika nagbayad pud nag VAT, no? Sa gikuhaan niya sa materials. Mao na siya ang value added tax, no? Buwis sa buwis. Na siya. Then, naapod ko diri number 2. The tax base is the total amount or value upon which a tax is applied, no? Ang tax base mauni ang kinatibuk ang kantidad nga gibuwisan. For example, ang imong kita mao ang tax base. Alang sa income, mas taas ang kita, no? So expect na taas pud ang imong buwisan. Taas imong i-tax, right? So number 3, the tax base determines how much tax will be collected by applying the rate to it. No? If you already know the tax base, dali ra makalculate ang buwis gamit ang tax rate, right? For example, 12%. Ang tax rate o 100 peso ang tax base. Ang buwis 12 pesos. So inganiyon ra na siya, 100 pesos times 12%. So number 4, the zero-rated sale of goods or properties refers to transactions where the sale is subject. Walay VAT sa zero-rated sale. Example, ang pagbaligya sa mga export goods, zero-rated.
Number 5, in VAT system, automatically zero-rated transactions and effectively zero-rated transactions refer to the two types of transactions that qualify for the 0% VAT rate. No? Two kinds of zero-rated transactions. Number 1 is automatic zero-rated. Walay VAT tungod sa klase sa produkto, for example, pagbaligya sa export goods. And the second one, affected zero-rated. Walay VAT tungod sa pipila ka mga kondisyon. For example, pagbaligya sa mga produkto sa mga lugar nga adunay espesyal nga panginahanglanon. And the number 6, effective zero rating. Nagbayad gihapon og VAT ang negosyo sa ilang mga gipalit bisan nagbaligya sila og zero-rated products. Mahimo silang mga claim og refund. Ingana na siyang effective zero rating. And the last, Oplan Kandado. Programa sa gobyerno aron supakon ang smuggling o tax evasion, no? So, unsa man ni siya ang programa sa gobyerno, dako kay ni siya tabang no, sa mga tawo. And the VAT exempt status of senior citizens. Walay VAT ang mga senior citizens sa pipila ka mga produkto o serbisyo. Di ba kung makabantay mo, every priority jud bisan asa ang mga senior citizen or kanang mga PWD or even kanang mga pregnant nga mga tawo, no? So sila gina priority, no? Even sa kanang pamasahe, no? Na sila'y discount. So wala pud VAT ang mga senior citizens. Maura na siya kung ika-chika mo.
So dagana ba natod ka nang wala ka nabalaan, no?
Yes.
Meron dyan nga share ta karon kay parang
Yes.
abalo gid ta.
Thank you for all your cooperation. To our business correspondent, Miss Andam, Miss Anlak, and Miss Delano. Tonight, giving us the insight into the complexities of business success. So stay tuned because we will be back tomorrow for more business updates. And this is Chika Minute!
Thank you for joining us tonight. BA 300D News Channel will continue to bring you the latest news and information. Stay tuned.